everybody, the Adept here. Today we're looking at the Epomaker Luma40. No mods, no tuning, just a look at what you're actually getting out of the box and how it sounds. Let's get into it. Packaging is straightforward, nothing excessive. Just what you need to get started. Which is to say, a quick start guide, QR codes for the manual, JSON and VIA, a wrist strap, because of course, if you've got a keyboard this small, you've got to carry it around somehow. Might as well have it attached to your wrist. I don't know. That's something that Wooting started. I don't understand it. Let's see what other accessories come in it. We have a braided USB cable with the 2.4 gigahertz dongle attached. Combination keycap and switch puller. And 3 extra of the Kailh White Rain switches that we'll go into a little bit later. And then, oh yeah, it's small, but it doesn't feel light or fragile. It has a CNC aluminum case, so there's not really any flex, obviously. You have your USB-C and your wireless versus wired switch at the top. Bottom, it's kind of an interesting design. The whole case is a silver anode. The keycaps are polycarbonate with UV legends. And this is it. This is the board. Coming in at 410 grams, or about 0.9 pounds. It's not heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but because it's so small, it feels solid. Visually, it's clean. Compact boards like this tend to disappear into a setup or become the focal point. I think this one tends towards the latter, especially once you enable the RGB. Right, exactly. It is not actually blinding in person. Once you get it up close to my camera, you can see the flashing R. That would signal that it's looking for that 2.4 gigahertz dongle. It has tons of RGB modes and is completely per key RGB, but this is selectable in the VIA console, so that is actually going to limit it somewhat. I'm not going to go through all the modes today. I will let you explore it yourself. But for now, I think I'm just going to turn off the RGB for us so that y'all can actually see the keyboard. And we'll switch it back to wired mode so that that 2.4 gigahertz dongle doesn't keep flashing at us. And let's go over the board. So obviously this is a 40% layout. You can see that they've moved around some keys, like the question mark, the apostrophe over here. And there's no 100% layout for a 40% keyboard, which is fine, honestly, because to be honest, the board itself, with its many layers, really needs your own unique touch for you to be able to tell it what you want. How is this best going to be used for you? And that's going to be primarily through layers. Obviously, there's no num row, So you're not going to have that to fall back on. By default, it's function and A through semicolon. This is going to be your 1 through 10, shift, function, and then you get your numero accents. I personally am at least going to flip-flop the left control and the function because I find myself going to the outside for my controls. But it's all up to you. It's all preference. And since it's an ortholinear, it's going to be easier for you once you adjust to it to type on. Now, I also might suggest that since you're going to be changing up your layout anyway, why not try out Kailh or Dvorak, which are going to help your typing experience a little bit more, although it might be too much of a change. The 0-degree typing angle is going to help you with long typing sessions. This keyboard, and you'll hear me say it a lot, is all about once you get used to it. And that's where my statement at the very beginning about commitment comes in, because this board is a board for people who want to have a small board that they can carry with them, that even with the RGB on will last for 7 hours, not even running ZMK, which it doesn't, it runs via obviously QMK, that want this smaller form factor, that want something that they can just take with them and go. I mean, this thing is just, again, it's small, it's light, it's portable, you can take it with you. Which I did. I took it on a week-long cruise recently, and I had it and my Steam Deck running the Steam OS with the web browser, and I was surfing in the airport, I was moving around the ship, and anywhere I took it, I could just plop it down, open up a web browser, open up whatever I wanted to do, and it was ready for me to go. The keycaps, which are polycarbonate and have UV legends on them, are really nice. It is actually one of the standout things about the keyboard. Obviously, the Luma name comes from the fact that it does the glow, and even with the lights fully on, as opposed to most translucent keycaps, I find the Luma actually very easy to read, which is important for a person like myself, with the lights on or off. So if that's important to you, even if it's not, if you're going to run it straight like this, if you're going to replace the keycaps with something else, which you absolutely can do, they are MX compatible switches, although they are low profile, so you'll need to get low profile compatible switches, or you might bottom out on the plate which is polycarbonate as well. The switches, which I may have mentioned before, are the Kailh White Rain switches, and this is part of their Elemental series, and they are a solid entry to the switch. They are a full palm switch, so they sound excellent. They are much better than the Gaterons that would come in something like the Work Louder. They are on par or better than the switches which come on other low-profile keyboards, like the Newfie or low-free keyboards. So we'll take a look at that in the sound test, which let's go ahead and do right now. Yeah, sounds good, especially for a low profile keyboard, which, since it's a very shallow case, has a tendency to want to have kind of a different sound, but in this case, it really works. I found that the sound is pretty pleasing to the ear. The feel with the low profile switches, so you have a 1.2 actuation distance and a 2.8 millimeter travel, full travel, which is pretty standard for low profile switches. So overall, what are my thoughts? Well, this is a specific board for pretty specific people. If you're one of those people and you're interested, or even if you're not, if you're interested in the layout and just kind of want to try it, this is a very low point of entry at $116, which is the retail price for the keyboard, and that's USD. You're getting a complete keyboard that you can take out of the box and you can just run with. You can pull the keys, you can change the layout. Since it's a uniform layout, you can rearrange the keys in any order you want. If you wanted to move your enter key down to the bottom, if that works for you. I don't know why you would do that since there's arrows here, but you can move the arrows. Move the arrows to the other side. You can do whatever you want. This is your board. This board is not trying to be everything. It's trying to do one thing well. If that's what you're looking for, this is a solid place to start. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think that you might be able to type on a 40%? Do you think you might be able to type on an Ortholinear? If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe at the bottom. And as always, keep building.